arrest between NOPD and JPSO?
Because the hotel was in New Orleans, we had NOPD Violent Offender Squad that was executed in New Orleans along with the U.S. Marshal Service. So both of them helped out. Now, look, we had a lot of help from a lot of different people over the last 2 days. Local agencies, whether St. Bernard, St. Charles Parish, or Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office, ourselves, all of our federal partners. It was all hands on deck, in order to be able to develop information and people and everything else in between. But the actual arrest was done by them once we developed the information of where he was.
So you're anticipating multiple arrests to come out of this?
There will be multiple arrests. Yeah, I don't know exactly how many. We're going to follow up on all of those, but anybody that had contact over the last few days that, did anything in furtherance of his escape, we certainly will make those arrests. And, we know Michelle will be looking at him for the jail sheets over the next couple of days, so.
Can you tell us which hotel he was arrested at?
Don't want to give that yet. Just because I think they're still doing the search warrant out there, and I'd rather not, do it. But it was one of the hotels out in New Orleans East off the service road.
Is there any indication on where he's been for the past 2 days?
Most of the time, I think he was there. So pretty much locked up in a hotel room and still have a jail cell. I don't think he had a really good time over the last 2 days, but it looks like he was there most of the time.
Do we know if he was in the hotel room alone?
At the time of the arrest, he was. Sure.
What charges will he be facing? Aggravated escape?
He's got aggravated escape. I think disarming a police officer because we had the radio and stuff that would take in. I know we had warrants on several things, aggravated battery of a police officer. I know we had the warrants on probably at least those 3 charges. And then obviously whatever we find from the search warrant today, we'll add additional charges to that.
Was there any indication on what his plan might have been? I mean, I'm assuming I'm
Again,
not a criminal, but sitting in a hotel room for
he
2
was
days.
taken into custody an hour ago.
Okay.
So I don't have, we haven't interviewed, we haven't know if he's going to talk, we don't know any of that type of stuff yet to be able to give you that. But, this is breaking, literally, he was arrested an hour ago.
At this point, will he be facing charges in Orleans as well?
Well, he certainly has warrants from Jefferson Parish. I don't know, depending on what we find in the hotel, whether or not he would be facing anything in Orleans, but no, probably not. Probably it's going to be Jefferson Parish charges.
If he does face charges in Orleans, that would slow the extradition process?
No, because he's got our warrants from here, plus he's in our custody, so we'll move him over here. If they put a warrant out for him later, they'll deal with it, but it's not an extradition interstate. So, no, he's coming back to us.
How did he get access into this hotel?
Reports to follow. Fair enough? Yeah.
Did he have the pepper spray on him still?
They're doing the search warrants now. I don't know that yet.
What about the unit that he stole?
What about it?
Was the unit found with him?
Oh, no, we found the unit that night. Yeah, that unit was found an hour after he abandoned it, yeah. So, but yeah, we'll have additional arrests going back to other things, so.
I know you talked about this was like a multi-agency situation or with help. Talk about that response and how critical that was.
Well, it was great. Look, everybody moving in the same direction but different parts, right? You literally put different squads in different rooms to handle different aspects. I don't want to give away every part of an investigation, but you can imagine whether it's search warrants, arrest warrants, phones, tracking, surveillance, you name it. You've had multiple groups in multiple different locations looking at every single avenue that we can. That started off, of course, with Jefferson Parish, just us, but then it expanded as people came in, trying to rotate people to go out and get sleep. Many of our people haven't had any sleep in the last 48 hours. They've been working straight through in order to make this happen. So I want to give them the time to, start slowing down a little bit, go get some sleep, and come back over the next couple of days, and and then follow up with all the things that we need to follow up on. But having the resources that we need for everybody to come together is a proud moment for us in law enforcement because they definitely stepped up to the charge.
And this all obviously started with a weird medical incident. It was kind of a false medical incident. It was kind of a false farce. Does that kind of, moving forward, does this kind of call for a change in policy on these medical issues moving forward?
When you have a population, when you have an unhealthy jail population that exists, Let's face it, we've got 1,200 inmates, and not all of them the healthiest. A lot of them have drug issues over the time and everything else in between. Is there opportunity for people to take advantage? Of course there is. But on the other standpoint, I don't know how you do that to every single person. You know, I mean, we will transport 20 people to the hospital tomorrow. I can't afford to take 40 people off to go transport 20 people. It just doesn't work that way. That's just not life. You didn't send every reporter here to do this. You've got to pick and choose and make that happen, right? You know, so you've got to understand that's the dynamic that we're there. Is it a perfect situation? No, it's not. Could we have done things differently? Absolutely. You know, but the fact of it is it's just not how it works in real life. So is there wholesale policy changes? No. Now, what's going to hurt is probably other inmates that have legitimate injuries are going to be taken less seriously. You know, I mean, that's just what it comes down to. You know, you wish you could take people on their face and say, okay, you're hurt, and this is the case, and we're gonna treat you with the respect that you deserve. And you know, people make mistakes in life, and we're gonna have people that are gonna come through our jail that have made mistakes in life, and will go suffer the punishment. You try to treat them as adults, and this person took advantage of it. Most of the inmates don't. Yeah, and that's just the case, right? Most of the inmates don't, but it's not realistic to, you know, we're going to put every single person in a leg brace, straight jacket to walk them out. I mean, that's just not realistic, right? So I mean, the alternatives are, you know, can we do better? Of course we can do better. Will we do better? Yes, you know, but it's not something that I automatically put fault or this is a mistake and this needs to be changed tomorrow. She believed the person, and, you know, he took advantage of the situation.
Imagining that he is now going to be in your custody for quite some time, has this changed how you guys deal with him specifically?
I'm sure there will be. I mean, you know, I'm sure there'll be some differences of, you know, he was on the medical tier. Well, hopefully medical realizes that all of his previous medical injuries, he walked out of his hotel room today. He can walk. He doesn't need a wheelchair. As far as I'm concerned, his legs can stay tired for a little while, but that's still a medical decision. You know, I'm certainly those things will change from that standpoint. You know, I mean, look, once he gets convicted of his murder charge, he won't be in our care anymore. He'll be in state custody, but he'll be here with us until he has his murder charge taken care of.
Once he was arrested, did you all contact the family members that were involved in that murder?
I don't know if that's been, I mean, I've told y'all, I know they were contacted earlier, but literally this arrest has been made in the last hour. They may have been contacted, they may not have, they may be learning from this broadcast, but I don't know the answer to that question.
At this point, are you all executing any other search warrants anywhere else aside from the hotel room in New Orleans?
I'm not gonna comment on pending, you know, we still have people that we're gonna see if he touched, and so I think the investigation is not complete. It may be he's in custody, but the investigation is certainly not complete.
He's currently, I just want to clarify, he's currently in JPSO.
I'm not sure. He is somewhere between Orleans Parish and Jefferson Parish, whether he's at their facility or my facility yet, I just don't know the answer to that question. But he certainly made it to Orleans Parish. I just don't know if we've picked him up yet to bring him to us, but he'll be to us by this afternoon for sure. All right, y'all, thank y'all. Hopefully this will be the last press conference for the day. I don't want to see y'all again, you know, today. I'll see y'all on another day. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, there, Sheriff Joe Lapinto giving us an update as an inmate that escaped from JPSO custody is now back in custody.